So for work, oftentimes I have to go to customer websites and figure out, is this like a service business, a manufacturing business, a retail business? And you'd be shocked how many times the front page of their website just has something like, we provide solutions to problems. And I'm like, uh, well, I need a little more info. And, the background will be something like a windmill. So I'm like, okay, that's, maybe I'm getting a bit of an idea. And then, the next tab I click on has like a picture of a giraffe and something just as vague. Okay. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like, it's really surprising how often businesses can't describe their business and define it in written form or, in person. And so I'm working on that myself for my own business that I am documenting and defining here. And so this is my first draft that I made. And this first go around, I wrote that this is a specialized advisory practice that designs the structural architecture of companies, the documented systems, frameworks, contracts, and operational foundation that allows a business to function clearly and scale responsibly. So, now that I've thought about this more, and I'm going to dig this apart a little bit, I've thought, well, I don't think I want to use the term advisory, or maybe even practice as well, because I'm thinking of avoiding like advisory or consulting because I think they've been overused. It doesn't really help me define what I'm actually doing. And I think there's a bad rep, maybe a bit deservedly so. I think consultants, they'll be a bit of a association, I guess, with it being a lot of money for maybe not a lot of value. And I think they're often using the word help as well, which is something that I've thought, well, I want to avoid that because I want to be working on this company structure and helping define, oh man, it's easy to do that. And, clearly defining these processes and really being an architect of this business. So today I've been exploring, how do I want to redefine this? So I did use the term after this, structural architecture. And when I was exploring this today, first I thought, well, who's my target customer? I have to think about that. And what problems do they have? Okay. What do they actually do? And what does their life look like after working with me? Then I also thought about, the words that I want to avoid and words that I do want to use. And I don't know if I even feel any closer, but some of what I have thought of is that, well, my target customer would generally be like founders with no structure at an early stage of a business that's scaling. And I think oftentimes they'll probably be a visionary type and working either solo or on a small team. And they may have a business that's operating in a regulatory or structurally complex industry. So like medtech, fintech, legal tech, healthcare. So that is a bit about my target customer. What problems would they actually have? They have messy structure and chaos and they want to get rid of it, and I want to help them. So let's see. Okay. So then I'm thinking, what are two words? Instead of advisory practice, how could I say this in a different way? And I would like it to actually be communicating what I'm doing a bit more than just specialized practice or consulting. So some of the things that I wrote down were business structuralist, I don't know, operational architect, structural advisory. Why did I write that down? That's two words on, I don't know. I don't like that one. Foundation practice, structural diagnostics, business diagnostics. I don't know. The one that I thought was closest was a company architect. Some of this is tough because I'll think like, I need to define this to myself first before I start trying to translate this into founder visionary speak. So I guess rewriting this, I don't know, would you say like you're an architectural company? No, because that's going to be too much like you're like building buildings. If I say I'm a company architect, a company that architects. And okay, see, this is harder than you think sometimes. But for this, I think this is good to just start thinking about it, thinking about some of the words that I want to use and not use. I really don't want to use the general advisor term. I don't want to use consultant. I just like have this idea in my mind of, being an advisor or consultant, and the customer is there working and I'm like over their shoulder being like, do this and this and this. And like, that's not quite what I want to convey. So, all right, just exploring some of those thoughts right now. And next time we'll dive into rewriting this. So that's what I got right now.